Alrighty, folks. So we are going to review some of the greatest hits of Nancy Pelosi's career. She's leaving her position as leader of the Democratic Party in the House of Representatives. She's still going to be sitting there because what else would she do with her life? But we're going to go through some of her greatest hits over the years. This video is sponsored by our friends over at Good Ranchers.
Give a warm drag race welcome to the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
That's a dude. And here she comes.
Welcome back.
And she can barely stagger out there.
My honor to be here. To say to all of you how proud we all are of you. Thank you for the joy and beauty you bring to the world.
Look, Boots, we're in fairy tale land.
Aww.
Your freedom of expression of yourselves in drag is what America is all about.
It's what America is all about, guys.
I say that
drag is what America is all about.
To my friends in drag.
She says that all the time to all of her friends. Oh boy, it's what America is all about, gang.
What would you consider your greatest accomplishment over the age of 50?
Well, I don't think anything compares with the Affordable Care Act. That was because it enabled millions of people to have access to quality, affordable care, and again, for families and for the children. And not only 20 million more, but also families to have better benefits at lower cost, more accessible, more affordable.
It made it more affordable. There's no evidence it made it more affordable. Also, I wonder what she did with Wilma Flintstone's body after she killed her and took her necklace.
Thank you, George Floyd.
Oh, yeah, this
one.
For
sacrificing your life for justice. For being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that? Call out for your mom. I can't breathe. But because of you, and because of thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice.
What in the world? Well, hold up. This is the one where she thanked George Floyd. See, in order to thank somebody for sacrificing their life, they actually have to willingly sacrifice their life. So you thank the people who ran up on the beaches of Normandy and died for their country. That's what you do. You thank the firefighter who ran into the building on 9/11. You don't thank the guy who really didn't want to die. Thanks to Jim, who got hit by a car the other day. For sacrifice. Like, that's not the way. You can't thank somebody for a sacrifice they weren't willing to make. It's a weird thing to do. But she's a weird lady, so.
We will now kneel for our moment of silence.
Oh, here we go. Here's a picture of Nancy Pelosi kneeling on the floor of the House for George Floyd, wearing weirdly culturally appropriated African-style garb. It's okay if an old white lady does it, so long as she's mirroring your left-wing priorities, but it seems kind of awkward. You know, it's all good. It's all fine. It's all good and fine. Also, America's systemically racist. That's why you should give powers to an 80-year-old white woman. And then, of course, she does love abortion. All of her policy is really for the kids, except for the ones who get snuffed out in the womb.
Oh.
Those ones, not so much for that. Like she likes the. In fact, she's very Catholic. She, like the Pope, loves to kill babies. Maybe not like the Pope, but she is very Catholic.
A woman has a right to choose, to live up to her responsibility. It's up to her doctor, her family, her husband, her significant other, and her God. Other countries, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, have had initiatives to expand a woman's right to choose. Very Catholic countries. I'm a very Catholic person.
The Catholic Church opposed all of those initiatives. The Catholic Church was standing foursquare against all those initiatives. Also, I'm just going to point out here that virtually all of those countries still have national abortion rules that are stricter than those of the United States. Alrighty, we'll get to more of Nancy Pelosi and her greatest hits in just 1 second. First, holiday season is rapidly approaching. I cannot wait, because if there's one thing I love more than spending the holidays with my family, it's spending the holidays with my family whilst eating delicious meat from Good Ranchers. I love steak, and Good Ranchers makes an amazing steak. I know, because they gave me a kosher steak, and it is spectacular. Not only is Good Ranchers meat superior in quality, it's also incredibly cost efficient. While grocery store meat prices are on the rise, Good Ranchers is dedicated to helping you save as much as possible. If you subscribe to Good Ranchers today, you can lock in your price and avoid those insanely high prices at the grocery store. Plus, as a special gift for my listeners this holiday season, Good Ranchers is giving away 2 Black Angus New York strip steaks free with your order. These are 2 12-ounce steakhouse quality cuts, a $70 value, absolutely free. You're not going to want to miss the offer. Let me tell you why. Black Angus tastes better and is more tender than any other beef. This is attributable to the meat's marbling. In marbled meat, the fat is distributed thinly and evenly, which is why you get that consistent flavor. Plus, the Black Angus from Good Ranchers is hand-cut and trimmed by expert butchers, so you know every piece will be exquisite. Go to goodranchers.com/Ben. Use code Ben at checkout for this special offer. That's goodranchers.com/Ben for 2 Black Angus New York strip steaks free with your order. Good Ranchers, American meat delivered.
The Supreme Court this fall will review a Mississippi law that bans most abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Is an unborn baby at 15 weeks a human being?
Let me just say that I am a big supporter of Roe v. Wade. I am a mother of 5 children in 6 years. I think I have some standing on this issue as to respecting a woman's right to choose.
No, you don't.
Is it a human being?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'm sorry. No, you don't. Lots of women throughout human history have had children. That doesn't make them an authoritative source that it's okay to kill one. That's such a weird statement. I mean, let's say that we weren't talking about abortion. Let's say that we were talking about infanticide. And you were like, you know what? Throwing babies off bridges? For some people, that's okay.
What are you doing?
That's how I roll.
No, the rules don't change for you just because you have pushed babies through the birth canal. All right, and then we get to the most important moment of Nancy Pelosi's career, January 6th. The most important thing that has ever happened in the history of the United States, when a bunch of droogs and idiots broke into the Capitol building of the United States, ran around, broke some property. One of them got shot to death, and then they left, and the certification of the election continued. But apparently, according to Nancy Pelosi, the Republic almost fell.
There are 2 actual paths. One is about the root causes of it, the white supremacy, the anti-Semitism, the Islamophobia, all the rest of it.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
That was so evident when you see a sweatshirt on one of the people saying, Camp Auschwitz. The other is the security of the Capitol and what it means to be ready for such an insurrection.
I mean, we should talk about the security of the Capitol at some point. I mean, at some point we should talk about the Capitol Police and why they weren't there. Doesn't Nancy Pelosi coordinate with the Capitol Police? Also, there are people acting in criminal ways, and those people are all in jail right now. But that didn't stop Nancy Pelosi from making January 6th the most important thing that ever happened and a justification for spending more money than in history of human beings. Nancy Pelosi also had some words on climate, mainly because she remembers the Pleistocene age.
It's a security issue because security experts tell us that migrations and the rest, rising sea levels, thermal management of the planet, drying up of rivers, encroachment of deserts, the list goes on. You know what they are. Health, jobs, security, and of course a moral issue if you believe, as I do, that this is God's creation and we have a moral obligation to be good stewards.
I love when she cites religion to support global crackdowns on capitalism. It's great. By the way, religion in politics is really bad unless she's citing her religion to stump for abortion and or global redistribution of wealth. Okay, and here we have Nancy Pelosi on foreign policy, always doing an amazing job.
The former president of the United States, for whatever reason, whether the Russians had personal, political, or financial leverage over him, just kowtowed, catered to Putin in a way that was humiliating to the United States of America. And when Putin hears about some of the violations of the rights of his own people, he laughs. This is a thug. This is a thug. But he is the head of an important state in terms of the issues you raised. Mm-hmm. The president should meet with him. And I think he's going to meet a very different president than one who was at the mercy of Putin.
End of quote. Repeat the line. Excuse me. $1 billion, 200 million, 700 billion, and $1 trillion, 300 billion dollars.
It's funny that she doesn't have anyone in her office who can read a timeline. I noticed that there was an invasion of Ukraine under Barack Obama.
Thank you so much.
I noticed that Syria was basically taken over by the Russians under Barack Obama.
Michelle and I could not be prouder or more excited.
And then I noticed under Donald Trump, there were no such territorial invasions by the Russians.
I aced it.
And then within a year and a half of Joe Biden taking over the presidency, the largest single war on the European continent since World War II broke out.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
Our country could not be better served than with this most experienced, capable hands than yours, President Biden. He's just perfect.
Joe Biden is perfect, guys. You didn't know? because he's stumbling over himself, like physically. He's falling off a bicycle and can barely lick an ice cream cone. He's perfect. He's amazing, and he's perfect also. Alrighty, folks, I hope that you enjoyed Nancy Pelosi's time in the House of Representatives. Teeth are clacking. Dentures moving. She'll still be out there talking from time to time, just not as much as she used to. But we bid her a fine quasi farewell.
I'm a very Catholic person.